Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, a couple different other platforms removed Alex Jones and Alex Jones related content from their platforms, and it's been a big speaking point over the past like day or so. And rather than wait for my podcast later on in the week this week, and speaking on my podcast, sorry to my listeners for my last episode that went up Friday. About 13 minutes of the intros missing. Great grand conspiracy or minor fudge up. I don't know. Apologies to those of you who listen to the podcast. My last week's episode is, in fact, there's an episode there. If you go to about the 13-minute mark and listen on, there's an episode there. Something happened with the main file, got corrupted, and I lost it. But rather than wait until the end of the week to talk about the Alex Jones situation and what's going on Twitter and Facebook and these platforms, I understand social media is private companies. They're private entities. None of us are really paying to use them. In the least, we're the only thing we're paying is time and privacy that we've agreed to give up. In these cases, we're not paying money to utilize these platforms, and them as private organizations, they can come up with whatever rules they want. All right, that's a big libertarian stance. They can come up with whatever rules, regulations they want, and they can come up with those guidelines. But at the same token, we are free to criticize them and speak out against it. Alex Jones, for example, I don't like the man. I, in fact, at times hate the man and can't stand him. I think he makes great comedy material. Any Place Boeing video that's making fun of Alex Jones that made a crazy, catchy musical number or whatever, very hilarious and fun. But Alex Jones, for pure good, content, not so much big on Alex Jones. Do I agree with all these platforms more or less silencing him under the clause of him violating the hate speech clause that they've made up, and that for all intents and purposes probably gets updated hour by hour or day by day, depending on how angry people get about things. I'm an advocate of free speech. You have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech. And I'm not suggesting that there be some kind of federalized standard to govern these things with private entities. Private entities, you have the right to do it, but we have the right to say whether or not we like it and whether or not we think it's a good idea. And in this case, Alex Jones, yeah, he might be that crazy guy with a megaphone on the street corner that's handing you pamphlets about the Illuminati and stuff. And there's probably some people out there watching right now who's like, this guy doesn't get it. The Illuminati is real, and we're all going to die. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not down with the way that the current course of events are going. I am very wary, very skeptical, and I always err on the side of freedom. I always err on that side of, words offend you that deeply on Twitter to the point that you can't mute or block an account. And now they're taking to blocking people. Alex Jones has been blocked. In fact, somebody associated with the Ron Paul Institute has been blocked, and now there's this worrying line about, are the rest of the libertarians going to get silenced on social media? I have no idea. I think that our internet platform is here for freedom and for promoting the exchange of ideas. Whether we like the ideas that are being exchanged or not is some entirely different debate on a different level. This much I will say, though. Twitter can come after me if they want. I'm a little man. I just cracked 1,500 followers, if that. I'm a small cog in this operation. I'm not that big, small one. If they wanted to come after me, if it happens, I'm not staying silent. Twitter can shut down my account if they want. They can suspend me. They can smack me on the wrist, whatever it is. Fritzcast is going to go on, whether it has a social media platform to go off of or not. And Fritzcast will fight for that belief, that underlying principle of freedom of speech. For as much as I might hate Alex Jones and not agree with a freaking word he says, I am wary in these times right now, but I won't stay silent, and I hope there's a bunch of you out there who won't stay silent either. So just keep that in mind.